Hello again, listeners, and welcome back to the Kotu Classic FPL podcast. I'm your host, Bruce, and as usual, my co-host, Cham. Cham
Boy,
as well.
it's been a long time, man.
I guess we were still hung up with the World Cup fever, and we needed some break to recover.
Absolutely. Yeah, the World
Yeah,
Cup really took away a lot of things. So yeah,
yeah.
unfortunately, that's why
Finally,
last week
yeah.
we, we
That's why
couldn't
we couldn't record because we had some technical
get it.
difficulties. So that's why we had to push it to game week 18 preview, which we're recording today.
Yeah,
But yeah, all things considered, it was a good gaming for us. So I guess it's not bad
yeah, yeah,
since
yeah.
we both did well.
It kind of coincided with the week I have my best week. So maybe people
See,
like people who haven't seen us in a while will think that Chama has started
because
doing
we
well
are,
again. So he's back. So
yeah.
that's why he's back on the pod. But yeah, that's not the case, guys. It was just some like Bruce say, were some technical difficulties we had last week.
Mm,
So on my side, so we could not record. But yeah, we will try to you know
be
get
consistent. Yeah,
yeah
it's
get
okay.
it going again and see how it goes.
Yeah, let's try and finish up the rest of the game mix. But recording from two different locations is a bit challenging sometimes. But yeah, we understand.
It is challenging, to be honest. It is challenging with with time difference.
Okay, jumping right into it, game week 17 review. Let's see some of the results. It was, to be honest, I've been looking forward to
The Premier
the
League back.
um start of the FPL again. Because after the World Cup, I was like, okay, this is about before the finals, I was like, okay, this is time to start putting your mind back into FPL, start getting some drafts, getting some fixtures there. So it was fun. I was really expecting, a really, a really good start or a bang to the FPL. But yeah, I watched as many games as I could, even though I was sleeping half the time. But which games did you manage to see, Jama,
In the
amongst
pre-
these?
yeah, because I miss the Premier League so much. Yeah, not just the FPL side
I
of
know,
things, but
yeah.
the Premier
Mhm.
League in general. So I kind of managed to watch almost all the games. I think in the game
Oh
week,
wow,
I'm almost all.
that's good.
Like yeah, sports. I watched the whole game. Crystal Palace, Fulham. I was watching that one whilst watching Newcastle Leicester, which I was very exciting to watch, but the game ended up being so disappointing, so one sided. So it was not the
Oh,
greatest game, you know. But yeah,
so that means yeah, Leicester got back to their usual self at the beginning of the season where they couldn't really defend to save their lives. It's anyway, it's disappointing because we have Ward and he was doing so well for us before the World Cup, 6 clean sheets also,
yeah,
and now they have to figure out how to get back to that level again.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, but testament to Newcastle, who are they continue to be very impressive. To be honest, like
yeah. They came out of
it's
the
scary.
like. Yeah, they came out of
Yeah,
the break like they have never left, you know. Like Almiron
mm,
continuing doing Almiron things, you know. We have spoken a lot about him just
mm,
before the restart about like how he can maintain that form. I don't think that
yeah,
he can maintain it, but yeah, he came and scored one of the best goals in the week because that goal was class. It was a goal of a player with confidence. The way he
mm,
take the ball inside, pass to Bruno Guimaraes, and then Guimaraes give him back the pass, and then it was just a classic goal from Almiron. And yeah, Arsenal too, not just them, but yeah, the teams that we are doing very well before the break, like it's like they never left. So it's gonna be interesting, right?
yeah. The shock of the bombshell of the week was when I think I was complaining to you about this when the Fulham coach
Yeah,
said that Mitrovic had a knock and it was a doubt, and then Mitrovic came in and scored 15 points.
definitely.
Almost
But yeah,
everybody,
it's
everybody,
crazy.
is that
But
everybody that was in the know sold him. That's why it's good sometimes to not really focus on FPL news and all these things because if you didn't know, like if you were somebody who was like having a let's say a slow start back into FPL, you would
yeah.
have just had those 15 points, easy.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. But I think that has been the story for Mitrovic throughout the season. I think in the first half of the season too, is every week Mitrovic has a
gather
knock
them
and
injury.
he's
Yeah.
he's yellow flagged and then he will end up playing. So yeah, he has a knack like kind of something something issue with his leg. but I don't think that
Mm.
stops him from playing. So now maybe we should learn a lesson from that. That when they say
Definitely.
Mitrovic is not
Yeah.
100%, it does not mean he will not play.
Hmm.
So we should interpret
Honestly.
that. We should interpret that in a different way. Yeah.
Yeah, I also saw the Liverpool Aston Villa game. This one was the one I was watching. It was early and I was sleeping and also trying to catch the game at the same time.
Yeah.
I was kind of impressed with Liverpool. I don't know whether it's because Aston Villa were so bad or
Yeah.
whether Liverpool were really good, but I kind of saw a glimpse of the old Liverpool back into this game.
Mm-hmm.
Aston Villa were just playing. They didn't. I don't know. It was just a very open game. The defending was terrible, but Liverpool were kind of like they had a whole of this game from the beginning. You know, Salah was everywhere, even though Darwin Nunes, the one that I have in my team, was just missing chances. But it's like I said, it's if I have a high scoring game week, it's okay. But when those key players don't perform, you want somebody else to take up the mantle, like Darwin Nunes.
Mm.
So in another game, if I didn't do so well, I would expect him to have those to bury those chances because he will be the fall guy for me not getting the points that I'm supposed to get.
Yeah, but
But
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I think it was a good game.
Yeah, yeah, it was an interesting game, the Liverpool game. I personally I think Liverpool played well in the first half, and we were
Yeah, I think so.
very very bad in the second half. So
Oh,
in an
okay.
overall context, I don't think it was a great game as a Liverpool fan. I did not enjoy it. Yes, we won 3-1, but there were a few things that I was not really happy about with that game. So yeah, but yeah. Speaking of Darwin, I think I I want everyone. Anyone who's
Yeah,
gonna own him,
definitely.
you have to have you have to have that heart to be ready to see a lot of chances being missed, because he's that, like somebody said, he's a player who will never be quiet in a game. It's either he's missing chances that you expect him to score, or he's causing a lot of trouble. So he is never gonna be quiet in the game. He's gonna be always gonna be busy. So if you can accept that okay, my player is gonna miss chances, then it's easy to own him. If but yeah, I personally I don't think I can handle it anymore. So that's why kind of I say let me just go
The-
away from him. But I think he is a very good FPL pick. That said,
yeah. Um, Moving on to Arsenal, West Ham. To be honest, I was impressed with Arsenal. The first half was a bit difficult for them because we all know West Ham. Moyes is the one that can play against big teams because he knows how to defend against them, and that's what they did in the first half.
yeah,
Got their penalty, scored the goal, and then just defended. But then Arsenal came back in the second half of the game and then just like, you know what, we're going to win this game. And they were insistent, like they were putting pressure. And then, they got the breakthrough equalizer
yeah,
and then scored two more goals. I think they're genuine title contenders right now. I don't even think, I think Man City will have to be perfect, to really like be number one right now. It's going to take a lot, unless the difficult fixtures for Arsenal are a bit tricky, But right now, I feel like they're number one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely, Arsenal are very, 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 very good. I think very impressive to watch. Very,
Mhm.
like they just continue from where they left off. And Odegaard,
Yeah.
like he has really grown into that position of the captaincy in the team, taking up the mantle, taking up that
Mm.
role where of leadership. I think Arsenal, without shadow of a doubt, just before the break, everybody will tell you, like, will agree that they are really in the title race. Of course, Arsenal fans will not wanna be that optimistic at this point in time. They would wanna play it down and say, "Oh, we just wanna be in the top four" and stuff like that. That is all what football fans do. Oh yeah, even my times when we Liverpool, when we are in the kind of this position, this is how I kind of wanna feel. I don't wanna put the pressure on yourself,
They
but
want to
yeah,
jinx it, yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. You
but
just wanna
they're
take
there,
him
man.
and
They're more than halfway there now. So I
yeah, yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's time to start believing.
15 games gone, but for me, I think they have a very difficult run to come now. Like I
Mhm.
say, 4 games, which of course, if you look at Brighton, the name is not a big team. If you look at Newcastle, like but this season, what they are doing, those two teams, generally what they are doing this season will tell you that I think Arsenal is gonna have a very difficult time to win against those teams. So they play those two teams and Tottenham, which is their main rivals, and this time it's gonna be at Tottenham Stadium. So, like I think when they played at Arsenal, I kind of said that when they play at home, Arsenal are always they always win, and when they play at Tottenham, Tottenham always almost always win. So this is a place they are not used to winning at and the other game is against Manchester United. We all know when Arsenal play Manchester United, it's usually very tough. So their next 4 games can be very important in the way their season shape. And then after that, I think if they maintain that position, I can kind of feel they are the favorites. But at this point in time, I think it's early for Arsenal to be favored. I think Manchester City are still, because of what they can do. They can just make a run of 20,
Just
15
thing,
games,
yeah,
winning every
of
single game.
results.
And then,
Yeah.
that is what they do. Like, yeah, it's very difficult to challenge, compete against them. So it's just 5 points at the moment. It's still early, I think. But I think Arsenal are in the race. And they're
Yeah,
very
definitely.
impressive. Very, very impressive. The young players they have, like, yeah, to be honest.
And it's scary because they're young and they're going to grow. They're going to be more
Mhm.
decisive and more experienced. And yeah, they're only going to get better from now on.
Yeah, coming from behind
Um,
against West Ham is big, right? Like West
it's
Ham, we are
big.
very
It's
good.
big, man. It's a
It's
big
big
result. It's a
because
big statement,
yeah,
Yeah.
because usually they don't come from behind. Like in the season, they're usually the one that score force or something like that. So this game they had to go 1-0 down in halftime, and they still had that character in the team to come back. And then they are serious. They are serious team.
Chelsea Bournemouth 2. This I think was a kind of like an easy game for Chelsea. They were not really exceptional, but Bournemouth were not that great either. So I kind of feel like it was one of those, they needed this win to kick on, because they had some kind of terrible results since Potter took over. I think he's finally figuring out the team.
Yeah.
But obviously, we all go with these games, and we heard that he's back, and then he picked up the same injury,
Yeah,
recurrence of the
James,
same
he
injury,
with the
and he's going
2 point.
to be out again for a while.
1 point, yeah, it's so annoying to all.
Yeah,
And ahead of the game, that was a talk. James is James. He's always gonna
yeah,
disappoint you. You're gonna go there. He's gonna. It was a very,
and then
very huge topic, and exactly that is how it unfolded.
it's
So
like the
yeah,
same thing happened. Yeah, exactly. That's
yeah.
true.
But I feel really,
But
really
I
bad for
mean,
him. It has been a very bad year for him, like injury
I
wise.
think so. Yeah,
Like
I think
he's
so.
a top talent,
Yeah.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
to see him going down like this at this young age of his career, it's just sad. Either hamstring, knee injury, these kind of things, they're gonna affect you long term, stuff like that. So I just hope that he can recover from these things and then come back. I saw his tweet yesterday or today. He's really down about it, but hopefully he will come back stronger. And then I
Hopefully,
think
yeah.
the injury is not so serious, right? They say it's not, I don't think
It's just
he's
a
gonna.
recurrence. I didn't read much about it, but I think it's a recurrence of the injury he was nursing. I'm not sure whether it's as bad as like before or whether it's just a minor setback in the. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, those are the
But
games I did not
hopefully,
see actually. Like Manchester United and Chelsea game, I did not watch them, but I saw the highlights. Havertz was on fire, right?
yeah. I mean, the Mount and Havertz, Pulisic was also there. I didn't watch the whole game, but I saw bits and pieces of it, and I think Havertz is somebody that we should consider since the fixtures are really good and they have a double, which we'll talk about later on. So yeah, I'm really looking at Chelsea. Even though James is out, I have Kepa, and I think Kepa is exceptional, man. Like honestly,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, I think we should start looking at some of their players. The reason why people don't want to go there is because Potter was rotating the team and trying different things, so we didn't really know which players were nailed or not. But it seems like hopefully that they're finding their starting 11, their fixed starting 11 now. So we hope it
Yeah.
continues. Man U Nottingham Forest. This was a game that I took a punt with Marshall. I think we'll see. Because obviously it's Nottingham Forest, I expect us to win.
Yeah.
And we started with Luke Shaw at left center back, which is very weird, but we had a clean sheet, so I guess it was good. And it was impressive, man. I was impressed with Luke Shaw, even though the main guy in the defense that was, making all those reads was Varane. Varane and Casemiro. Casemiro was just exceptional, man. Like it feels so good to have a defensive midfielder. I don't think we've had one that has been like him or the quality of him in a long time. I can't remember the last time we had somebody as good.
Yeah.
Like man, I don't know. I'm not bragging or just really singing of his praises, but if you watch our game, you can see a whole lot of difference. In the way that we play that midfield. Oh, man.
Yeah,
But yeah,
definitely. Casemiro is a top player. I don't think maybe some crazy people doubted him as a player for the now. I think for me the worry for him was always about how how long Man
He-
United gonna use him? Is he gonna be
mhm.
worth it for the long term and stuff like that? But for the immediate term, like
Yeah,
he's just coming back from winning the Champions League, 5 times Champions League winner. So that kind of player, yeah, he's top player. He's top player, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, it was Nottingham Forest, like they say.
I
But it's
know,
a
yeah,
good.
yeah, that's the thing. But like it's not Nottingham Forest. But the thing is, some of those players,
Mhm.
came back from the World Cup. Some of them were there, like Wan Bissaka, and the
Yeah.
team wasn't like the full team,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And it was like, okay, you know what, the back four, you guys just go there and see what you guys can do, and they did well.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
look, surely he's playing at centre back. I was like, man, what's going on here?
And Rashford is flying. Yeah, he come back.
Yeah,
He
that's
came
what
back
he's
from the
flying.
World Cup with with the confidence and all those kind of things,
Yeah,
and you can see it
definitely.
in him. Like you say, you guys could have won by more goals. I see some of the
Oh
chances
man,
that
we
you.
missed. Anthony missed a few. Like honestly, could have been seven. But that's why the coach was a bit. He was pleased, but I think he felt like they could have scored more. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
need to be
Yeah, that's
ruthless in
what
this
he.
kind of game.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
you
he
need
said
to be.
actually in his interview. Yeah, like kind of like he's happy we won 3-0, but yeah, he know it could have been more. And yeah,
Yeah,
but it was a strong performance from you guys, and a very confident one. Of course, like they say, it's not time for us, but you win, you
yeah.
won against these teams. You want to win convincingly, and that
You're
was
gonna
what
win.
happened.
Thank you. You're gonna win comfortably. Yeah.
Yeah,
And lastly, Leeds Man City. I think I was watching this game too. Like
yeah,
parts of the game. We're all hoping that our captain, former captain Haaland, will score, and he scored 2 goals. Grealish in the beginning was very annoying, but I think he redeemed himself with having the 2 assists, and I think the coach is really impressed with him. So I guess he continues. Yeah, 3-1.
3-1. Yeah, it was interesting game. Because I also play in a draft league, some draft league like in Japan here, where
Mm-hmm.
I had a very tight affair with somebody who I was playing. He was number one in the draft league, so he had this foreign in his team, and I had Grealish and and Mares in my team. So
Man.
yeah, so I was annoyed with Grealish at some point, but yeah, it was great to see him, giving the 2 assists in second. But yeah, I know he was very wasteful in the first half, but yeah,
Mhm.
that's Grealish for you. But it was an
Yeah,
interesting game. Leeds, I was so disappointed for them to concede in the last minute of the first half, though, because they defended very well in the first
they did
half.
well. They did
They
yeah,
did
really
very
well.
well,
They kept them out for a long
but
time.
then the way they considered, you don't let Kevin De Bruyne drive with the ball like that. Don't give him that many space. It's just too much space that they gave him, and then he punished them in the end.
Mm.
Yeah, but yeah, Man City, they also continue from where they left, and like I say, don't be surprised if they can just put up a run of 10, 15, 20 games of winning streak.
Unbeaten run, yeah, man. Yeah.
That is what they do. He can do these kind of things. So Arsenal have to be wary of these kind of things. And yeah, it's gonna be very soon they play each other. They haven't played each other yet. Arsenal and Man City. So that will be a
I
very,
mean,
very, very
yeah,
good game.
right.
Yeah, that will
Even
be
in
a
the
very
first
good
half of
game.
the season, they didn't play. So
They
it's gonna
haven't
be
played
interesting
yet.
to see this game. Yeah,
Yeah,
I really wanna see who's
it's
really top dog.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so moving on to our individual teams, for game week 17. Uh, who goes first?
You go. You can go.
Yeah, so 89 points all out. I guess it's not bad. Um, I had a letdown with De Bruyne. I was expecting that, against Leeds, he would be the one. That was my gamble, was
Yeah,
either him or Salah. And based on the game that they played in the cup, I think
yeah,
De Bruyne was the edge that for me. So, it was easy to go with him, even though I had Salah all this while.
yeah, mm.
But yeah, so 89 Kepa also had 9 points or so.
Yeah. 9 pointer. It was solid.
Yeah, Cancelo was the one that when I saw him on the bench, I was like, oh man, Pep again. But anyways, I
He-
just wish he would stay. If he doesn't start, he stay on the bench and doesn't come on. That I'll be very happy so that my bench players can come on and get the points.
yeah,
It's annoying when you see him come with 1 point and Anyways,
yeah.
Trippier with 12, James with 1 point, De Bruyne with what 2,
2 point. Yeah.
Almiron with 8, Rashford with 14, Martinelli with 8, and then up top Marshall with 4.
Mhm.
Captain Haaland, 26, and then Darwin Nunes with 3.
Yeah, that was pretty
So
template,
89
right?
points.
Pretty template team.
So yeah, it's template apart from a few players.
Yeah,
So I was trying to.
I would say it's Twitter template, because Kepa is about 6% ownership overall in the game, but on Twitter I
Really?
think everyone
Yeah,
owns
on Twitter,
Kepa.
almost everybody has him.
So
Yeah,
yeah, and Cancelo, I think everyone owns him. Trippier, likewise. James too, on Twitter, everybody owns James.
mm
Maybe De Bruyne and Salah, that was 50-50. Some people will go with Salah, some people, but
yeah, I think
otherwise
so
it was
too.
like that. Almiron,
Marshall, yeah, for me, I think
Marshall.
Marshall is the only template for me, yeah, that I feel like Darwin
Yeah.
Nunes too. So these two players.
Yeah, and even
My bench,
Marshall, when Mitrovic become injured, like I think
mhm.
Twitter, the whole
A
of
lot of
Twitter
people moved. Yeah, a lot of people.
went for Marshall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and for Marshall, yeah, because I was gambling between him and Mitrovic, but then when he became injured, I was like, okay, this is like
It
the
makes it
decision was made
the
for me,
decision is made for
yeah,
me,
it's
right?
easy. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what I had for game week 17. How about your team?
Yeah, I had 91 points, which is huge, considering the context of my season. Very, very huge. Yeah,
Kicking on. Yeah,
yeah.
finally.
Starting the second half of the season very, very well. So yeah, I can't complain. Yeah, just some of the decisions that I made. Kepa, yeah, he was in my team until the day, and then I ended up with Ederson at the like. I was flip flopping between the two of them, and because I just wanted to have three Manchester City players, and I thought Ederson. But then I realized really I'm not enjoying it. I will never enjoy owning Ederson because he's never active in the game, and then one
Mm.
chance they will concede a goal. Manchester City. He's not. He's a very good goalkeeper. He's a very good goalkeeper in a lot of aspects of things. But sometimes, corner kicks, you cannot blame him for the goal. But like Man City don't concede a lot of chances, but when the few they concede, usually they go in. So yeah, that is it. So he don't give you save points or anything like this. It's just the clean sheet. That's where you hope it for. And if that's the case, then yeah, I'm not happy with that decision I made between Kepa and Ederson. So I'm looking to address it maybe. I don't know. But yeah, in defense, I went with 4-3-3, maybe a pretty unorthodox formation. I think most went with 3-4-3 or something like
This
that.
is solid,
Because
yeah, solid,
yeah,
solid
yeah,
formation.
yeah. So I wanted to go with the back four. I wanted to have the Liverpool defender, at least one of them. I had both of them until later I removed Robertson and then kept Trent. And Trent ended up getting the assistant, assist the assister. He did not assist the goal, but assist the assister, which is not an FPL point. But yeah, James, Trippier, and Cancelo. I think that one is pretty template. Martinelli, I kept him, and I went with Rashford as my captain instead of Haaland, which was huge. So it was not an easy watch, even though I had my 14 points in the back. It was not an easy watch watching Haaland. And then you had Salah. And yeah, up top I have Ketia, Marshall, and Haaland. But all of them return in the game week. So my midfield and my attack, they were pretty good. I benched Almiron, which was not nice. But yeah, 91 points to restart the season. I think it's a pretty solid way to start, right?
Yeah, I feel like it was a week of midfielders because most of the midfielders that we had,
Yeah,
the template ones, all of them almost scored. The
return.
Mounts, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, like almost all of them. Almiron, like Rashford. So if you had a team full of midfielders, you probably would have probably at 100 points plus. So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. If you play 3-5-2, I think
hmm
you will have a fest.
yeah.
Of course,
Um,
if KDB is not there.
Obviously KDB is not there. Yeah, if you have Salah instead.
Yeah,
So moving on to our mini league, the Kotu Classic FPL mini league.
yeah.
Manager of the. Okay, let's go with the
Oh, the mini league
the
first. The manager of the week, or the okay. Let's
yeah
go
the
with the.
manager of the week is Mangai Mangai.
I go man guy. Yep. I like
That's
his name.
funny. As in our local language, Wolof. Yeah, I don't know how to translate that, but okay. Francis, what's the name?
Francis Malu.
Malu. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
116 points. This is like yeah.
you're solid, right?
So take us yeah, very sorry. Take us through his team, Chama. Let's see who he has in his team.
Yeah, he had the hair in goal and in defense. He went with 4-4-2. Ben White, Luke Shaw, Trippier, and Bodman. He doubled up in the Aston Villa defense. Uh, Newcastle defense rather. And in the middle he had Almiron with 8, Martinelli 8, Salah 12. He had Rashford with 14 and Captain Haaland with 26 points and Kane with 7 points. And then on the bench, because he played the bench boost, He had Ward,
Oh, he
who
played the bench boost. Okay,
yeah.
no wonder.
But the bench was not so solid because if you look at the bench, you have Ward 1 point, Estupinan two
Hmm.
point, Diego Costa 1 point, and Bailey 2 points. So in the bench, literally, he
Oh,
had
yeah, that's not a lot.
just 6 points. So he had 110 points on the pitch. Like in his starting 11, everyone returned except Ben White. So that's the thing, right?
Mm.
10 players in his whole squad returned, and five did not. But yeah, 160 points, that is very, very solid in this game week. I know the hundreds were flying all over the place, but to have
I know,
100,
right? Yeah, a lot of
to
hundreds.
yeah, to have 116, I think is huge, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
congratulations,
so
France Malu.
congrats,
Nakala, man nga yep.
Malu. Yeah, 116 for being the manager of the week
Yeah,
post World Cup, the first manager of the week post World Cup. So looking at top five, let me see if there's any changes. Yes,
yeah,
they are there.
there
There's
is a
for the first
changes.
time this season.
Yeah,
Wow. So starting from fifth, I think there's no movement in the three.
yeah,
In fifth, the icon strategy, Mr. Strategy. Fourth, Old Roger. Three, McManaman. And moving down to second for the first time this season, I think, or one of the very few times, Mohamed Damfa Awareness FC. I
yeah,
think he came back not too.
not too
The
well.
second half is
Yeah,
starting off
58
badly
points
for
is
him.
very, very,
8 points, yeah. And he had
yeah.
such a big league, I think about 30 or something points before at some
Yeah,
point.
you can see the game
And
week points like 58,
and just
106. That was huge, right?
yeah, and just one game week and then
That's
a second.
FPL for you. That's FPL for you. Sometimes you just
Wow.
need one spark,
I
and
know.
then you start lighting up.
Hmm. And then moving to first is Mr. Fantasy
Uh-huh.
FC Hamarikov with 106 points, like
Yeah,
the
that's
100 point
yeah, 100 point club.
game for him. Yeah, so 100 point club. So that's it, the top five. That's it for our Kotu Classic mini league. Okay. So do we have start summary this week, or do we do
No, no,
we
no,
do
no, no.
we?
Yeah, we just move. Like last week, we had this
We
stats.
had a lot of
We had a lot of stats.
stats
We
we're
were
gonna
gonna
discuss.
analyze every position: goalkeeper, midfielder, defender, just before
Would have
you,
been
you know.
fun, but
But I
yeah,
don't think now it's gonna be necessary because
it
everybody
doesn't. It
has
doesn't. Yeah,
made their
it doesn't.
decisions based on their
Definitely.
unlimited transfers. So we're just
Hmm.
gonna flow. We're just gonna move forward, and then
Yeah,
maybe
that's how
sometime.
quickly FPL moves on. I
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
right?
definitely.
Okay, so jumping in on our fan corner. This
Yeah,
week it was man. I guess you guys have another one over Man U fans again because the person I'm gonna talk about Cody Gakpo, somebody
uh-huh.
they've been linked with for like since last summer,
Yeah,
right? Because it was between him and Anthony, and we went with Anthony, spent crazy money on him, even though we could have got him for cheaper a few
yeah,
weeks earlier. So we couldn't get Cody. So we thought that we were going to get him in January, which was the plan.
yeah.
Don't let any Man U fan tell you, oh, we didn't need him. That was the plan. The coach wanted him, and we were going to get it. I don't know what
Uh,
happened. Maybe I think I'm hearing some things about just before we started recording that I think the board said they're not going to spend any money this January, and I kind of understand,
yeah,
that you don't need to spend because the club is in a transition right now. They're trying to sell the club, so
yeah,
you can't spend money that you don't have, like because they already backed the manager in the summer.
yeah,
So I kind of understand this. We wanted Cody, but the problem is even maybe the coach had plans for him. That's one thing you don't question. If the coach said he wants this player, just get him the player because you never know. Even though he's a left winger, we already have a lot of left wingers in our team right now.
yeah,
Rashford is doing well. Garnacho is doing well. Marshall can play there. Sancho is a left winger. So we have about four different players that can play in that position.
yeah,
But he was going to convert him to a striker. But still, it's nice to be linked with a player and then sign him, right? For us, that's the whole point. If we know we're not going to get him, why even bother? Anyways. But I guess he's a good player, to be honest. And congrats, you guys, for signing him. I think he's going to do well in the Premier League. Yeah.
Gakpo.
Do you have any thoughts on him or?
Uh not so much, but yeah, of course. I've been since we signed him, or since we were linked to him, which was very fast, quite so fast. Like I was not expecting that. I did not see that one coming because I think earlier that day, I was listening to the Here We Go podcast. Fabrizio Romano, he was talking about Gakpo. He's still Manchester United target. He's gonna go to Manchester United. He has not changed
Oh,
his
is
mind on
it?
Manchester United. It's about Manchester United meeting the deal and stuff like that.
I
So
kind of feel that, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it was never in my mind that like this player will Liverpool even link with this player. But all out of the blues, Liverpool are in advanced negotiation to sign Cody Gakpo. In the next 1 hour after that, I hear, oh, Liverpool have reached an agreement. PSV have, yeah, it was all fast. It was very, 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 very fast. And to be honest, I don't know much about the player prior to that. I watched him in the World Cup briefly because I used to watch the World Cup highlights every single game. I think I watched the Netherlands game against Senegal in the first half, but I did not complete the game. That was the only half of football that I watched. I really watched of him in the World Cup. The other games, Argentina, I watched a bit part of it, maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So because I was not really keeping up with the World Cup because of the timing of the World Cup. It was so brutal for me here in Japan. So I don't know him very well. But I know he's a tough guy. He's a big guy, 6'4" attacking player. He plays on the left wing for PSV. And in the World Cup, he was playing as a number 10 for Holland because they played in the 3-5-2 formation. So he was playing
Like
behind
a
the two,
false nine type of thing, yeah.
behind the, yeah, kind of a false number 9, but he was more like a number 10, I would say.
Mm.
And yeah, and then he was he was the best player for Netherlands in the World Cup, according to many people, I think. And because he scored 3 goals, of course, I think some people, if you are judging, you just see that he's the one who scored in all 3 group games for the Netherlands. He's probably the best player. And yeah, he scored different types of goals in the World Cup. Scored a header in the first game, and then scored with his left foot, scored with his right foot. So he's quite an exciting kind of a player. And he's a player at the infant stage of his career. And he has a lot of experience because he currently the top scorer, captain of PSV Eindhoven. He's the top scorer in the Dutch league. He's the top assist maker in the Dutch league. So he's having all these bits and parts of things that you would expect your attacking players to have. Yeah. So he's an exciting player. But where he's going to play for Liverpool, like that is a
That's the
big
problem,
concern.
though.
Because,
That's
yeah.
what I was gonna ask, yeah.
Yeah, because like you say, he's a left winger at PSV. And you are talking about Manchester United. We are considering to turn him into a number 9.
Mhm.
But according to what I listened to Didi Haman, Didma Haman. He's saying he sees him playing as a midfielder, attacking midfielder or something like that, because his frame, he's too big to be an attack to be a winger. He's wasted in the wing because he's too big. His size, he's a physical presence, and he's not really a striker. I don't think he likes to play with. He likes to run behind and stuff like that. So he's maybe number 10 or maybe number 8 if you play with 2 number 8s. Like Bruno Fernandes is playing for Manchester United right now. But he does not have that passing range of Bruno. But again, I don't know. He's leading the assist chart at the Dutch league. So I don't know if he really have that passing range or something. But I am excited to see what he brings for Liverpool. And yeah, one thing I don't like about him though is he takes corner kicks. He's too big for taking corner kicks. I think he's wasted to do that. He should be in the box,
You should be in the
Um,
box, yeah, receiving those corner kicks, yeah.
yeah. But they say he's a very good ball deliverer. He has a very good shot in him. That's why he takes the corner. But thank God at Liverpool we will not need him to do that because we have 2 top class players for doing that. Trent Alexander-Arnold, who does not even take them as much as he used to now because Robertson is so good at taking these set pieces. And by the way, so Robertson just last week he become the top assist maker in the Premier League. He's the highest assist maker in the history of Premier League for defenders. So
Wow.
yeah, that's a big achievement for him. It was Baines with 53 assists. Now yesterday he assisted Salah for the first goal. That made him 54 for Robertson. So now he's number 1 outright as the top assist maker in the what a signing for Liverpool. 8 million from Hull out of nowhere.
Telling
Yeah,
you, man.
that was
Telling you.
that was huge. Yeah. So not much to say about Cody
Yeah.
Gakpo, but I'm excited.
It's always good to have quality players. I kind of feel like that's my opinion. It was an opportunity for Liverpool because Man U were there, Clay. We always do this, like, we don't want him. Oh, okay, give us time. And then the people just came in, okay, how much is it? Because it's cheap, bro, to be honest.
Yeah.
For that type of play, it was like they were only demanding like 45 million.
Yeah,
So
45
honestly,
million.
what is there to think about? If you want him, you just go and get him,
Yep,
But
absolutely.
yeah, maybe he was also frustrated that, okay, look, Manu is wasting my time, and Van Dijk was there. You spoke to him, hey man, Liverpool are in. Okay, I'm gonna sign with Liverpool.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bing, and then it was all forgotten. Yeah, like because some of these things they anger you as a player. You want a club, you're linked with them, and then the club starts, not responding how you want them to.
Definitely.
So
But it's
career
like,
is
it's very impressive of Liverpool too. Like
to
to
do that
sign
in
him,
this
like the way
such
they
yeah
like
such
the way they do
quick.
this signing, it was so
The same thing with
in this
theirs too,
in this
right?
age in this age of social media, in this age of news, how news spread very fast. You can do your transfer without anybody knowing anything about it. It was very impressive, to be honest. And then
What,
it's a good
what
statement, to be honest, from the club.
yeah, PSV were clear. They said that if anybody came to like the record signing or offered any record fee, they were gonna accept. They didn't have any agreement with anybody. They just wanted money. They asked the player, "You want this club?" They say yes, and that's it. So I think I blame Manu for dropping the ball on this one, like we
Yeah,
always
yeah.
do. We always drop the ball. So
Yeah,
it's okay.
definitely. You guys should
Um,
have. Yeah, you guys had the opportunity last season, and he was really pushing for Man United move
yeah,
in the
man. I
summer.
mean,
But Man United,
mhm.
and Ten Hag wanted him, so that is the bad thing. When a manager wants
That's the thing.
something, you have to give
If
it
the
to him,
coach
right?
wants him,
Mm,
like you have to go and get him because it says a lot if you back the coach. But
yeah,
yeah. So moving on to Man U now. Obviously, we're talking about Man U Liverpool, the
yeah.
fan corner.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is also that there's news. I don't know whether you call it news, but I got from the United Standard. The board refused to spend money this January. I kind of, like I was saying, I kind of understand that because the club is chopping for owners right now, and doesn't make sense for them to go out and spend after spending in the summer.
Yeah, but it's the same.
When
It's the same at Liverpool. Liverpool are also for sale, right?
But yeah, but they went and bought Cody Gakpo. So what
Yeah,
is the excuse? Well, I kind of feel because we know the owners we have, they don't like spending money at all.
yeah.
And during the summer, they surprised us with going all out because people were complaining, and the riot was the what do you call it? Not a riot per se, but Glazers out.
Protest. Oh, yeah.
The protests, and yeah. So I kind of feel like they were forced to spend, and
And
now
they were the biggest spender. Don't forget. I think Man
yeah,
United
they
spent
were spending.
200
Yeah,
million in the summer.
yeah.
So I think maybe they don't
Even
have enough money to spend at this point. Maybe.
maybe, yeah,
Mhm.
because the thing is, we spent 100 million euros on Anthony. That's a big chunk of change from
Exactly.
our
And
transfer.
60 million, right?
Yeah.
On 60 million pounds on Casemiro, and then you have 50 million pounds on Martinez. Those were not the only
Mm-hmm.
players you signed. Who else? Did you sign anybody?
Malaysia, but Malaysia wasn't that
Malaysia
expensive.
was a relatively cheap one. Yeah.
We also did the same thing. I think it's to Leon. They were about to sign him, and we came in and offered more, and then we signed him.
Yeah. You bullied
Yeah.
someone, so we also did it to you.
But the thing is, I think we spent too much money on Anthony, and we could have gotten him for cheap if we had gone in a few weeks earlier. But anyways, yeah, that's what's going on for both of our teams right now. Man U fans, most of us are kind of disappointed. Even though looking in hindsight, we can console ourselves by saying, we don't really need him as a winger, but it hurts to see a player that you were linked with for so long go to another team, especially your rival. If it was Newcastle, I wouldn't have
Yeah,
cared. I was like,
yeah.
well,
That's the thing. To be honest, I don't know if he's gonna pass or he's gonna fail at Liverpool. I don't know. I wish I think the most the my most the biggest excitement I have of this signing is we nick it off United. It's
you
not
linked it
about
up, man. That's what I'm saying.
what he's gonna bring to Liverpool. To be honest.
That's the, that's the only thing. If you ask me, I would say you guys don't need him. You guys have like players right now, and he's not going to play 10. You guys don't play that kind of football where you have a 10 somebody behind the stack. It doesn't
Yeah.
work that way. So yeah, but I hope to see him. I'm happy that the only good thing is I'm happy he's playing in the Premier League where I can get to see him play. Even though it's my rival, but yeah, whatever.
So how about FPL? What do you think they will rate him as a midfielder, as a striker, and what will you get? What is your guess for the price for him?
I think he's a midfielder, and maybe he's gonna go for a 7.5, 7 million ish type of player. Yeah, I think that should be. If it's anything more than that, it's gonna be too much. But I think about 7 million to 7.5 should be.
But I think he's gonna come straight into the team, like if he's ready. Oh, I say
For
I can
now,
see I can see after 1 month. Oh, I can see after by the end of January, I can see him starting games because
ahead of Carvalho. I think Carvalho
yeah,
is young enough.
Carvalho
Yeah.
is still young. Carvalho is just a fixed gap, I think. Klopp is still trying to find his best position in the team and stuff like that. Yes, he did well against Manchester City. He did well in the preseason, but I don't think he did not even play our game against Aston Villa. He was on the bench throughout that game. So he ended up bringing Harvey Elliott and stuff like that. And now we have Salah. That left wing, Diaz is out, Jota is out. I can see him playing there. Maybe
Unless
if
there's
he play.
injury, man. But you have top players in that position. Like
No, but he's flying, you know. He coming from the World Cup with confidence. He's coming from the Dutch League with a lot of goals. Just like Diaz last season. Diaz when he came last season with the form he was in,
yeah,
he came straight in. And then
he fit right in.
we move, yeah, exactly. He fit right in, and then we move man into the striking position. So I can see that happening right now. He don't have a lot of competition there, so he might just nick it. And start in that position. But also, yeah, Firmino too is coming back from injury, so maybe that might hinder it because Diaz too can play there, kind of. No, not Diaz. Luis, what's it? Nunes. And actually, I prefer Nunes to play on the left than to play our central role. Like
Really?
this is just my personal way. No, but what I prefer is I want to play 4-4-2 diamond with Firmino playing as a number 10. So Firmino plays at number Salah and Nunes. They will play like half space striker. So do we have two strikers? But I don't want Nunes to be our main number 9 and then people being playing behind him. I want him to be running because he's a player who likes to run at people, right? He sees space, he runs at the space, outrun the defender, and then cause a trouble. This is how he can cause trouble. But if he's the player to play at the back, like play like a target man, I don't think that suits him very well. And I prefer Firmino dropping and then linking up play with Salah and Nunes rather than Nunes staying there and then trying to be our main target. I don't know if that makes sense to
Okay.
you.
Yeah, it makes sense. You don't want him to be the finisher of your chances.
No, I mean
Definitely.
he can finish chances just like Mane and Salah. We are finishing chances. Firmino was always dropping. You know, we used to play with instead of 4-3-3 with Firmino being the number 9 and then Salah and Mane feeding him. No, it was Firmino who dropped and Salah and Mane tuck in the diagonal way, and then Firmino will be the one who will link up that play. So that is the same play where Mane was playing, but in a more striking way. It's the same 4-3-3, but it's just some little bit of adjustment. Anyways, let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
let's I know when the fan in us comes out. But okay. So moving on to our next segment, which is the preview itself, GW18 preview.
18 and 19 actually we should preview because we will not have time to record 19,
18
right?
and 19, yeah,
Yeah.
right. You're actually right, yeah. We'll just talk about both of them since
Yeah.
we're going to also mention the long view with the fixtures.
Yeah.
The double game week fixtures that are out right now. So
Yep.
let's move on to that.
The fixture long view, right? Yeah, we can
Yeah,
start
long
with the
view,
long
yeah.
view, and then after
we can talk about
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
As
this
we
is
can see,
fixtures for
go
game
on.
up to like next 6 game weeks, and game week 19 of course is a double game week because Chelsea and Fulham they have a double, and game week 20 Manchester City and Tottenham have a double, and also in game week 23 Manchester City and Arsenal have a double. But yeah, I think the Manchester City Tottenham double, it depends on what happens in the FA Cup. If either of these two teams required a replay, this double could be cancelled. But as at now, that double is confirmed, so it depends on that. And as you can see, in the long run, like because Man City, of course, have 2 double game weeks in the next 6 game weeks, means they have the best fixture run to come. And then Fulham, they are up there. They also have a double in game week 19. That's why Mitrovic has been, has punished us. Chelsea, they also have a double. They are in third. Yeah. But yeah, there's gonna be there could be more doubles maybe in 20 in 21, which we don't know when they're gonna announce it. According to the guru Ben Krelin, if you like, especially when it comes to double game weeks, you need to follow Ben Krelin if you are listening to us, because we cannot tell you anything that Ben Krelin has not said, right?
Almost everybody reference him, so yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think for now, the best thing to do is you should try and have 3 Man City players in your team.
Yeah.
Somehow, we all know they have possible we all know they have 2 possible double game weeks in the next 6 fixtures.
Yeah.
And the problem is you don't want to be missing out on these doubles for Man City because we all know what they're capable of.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think that's the plan right now. Chelsea also they have a double, and that's why I'm looking into Chelsea players, because right now the reason why people were keeping off is because we don't know what players they're going to field. They have the team is so big and the coach is new and he's trying to figure out things.
Yeah, but what is it? James and Kepa, those were quite obvious people to go with.
Quite
But then
obvious. And
then James disappointed.
James
But yeah,
now.
you guys who
But
have
now,
Kepa, I think you should be happy with that decision, right?
Yeah. Tottenham, do you think you want to go to Tottenham because of their double? They have a very tough double,
You know,
Arsenal Man City.
we have not even talked about Tottenham in the results, which was a little bit
Yeah.
unfair for them, to be honest. But
Drew.
of course, they drew against Brentford. Kane scored and then hit the post. He was very impressive in that game. And you know, he has not blanked in this season. I think he only blanked once or twice. And
If you remove Haaland, he's one of the best strikers in the game. But
yeah,
nobody's
exactly. He's doing his thing, you know. But still, because of Haaland, yeah, because you don't want to own too many expensive strikers. And then there is the midfielders of KDB. There is Salah, so it's difficult to own all of them. But yeah, I think if you can stretch to that, he might be the only Tottenham player to target, because Son, to be honest, this season has been very disappointing. He only scored 3 goals, and all those were scored in one game. So, other words, he only scored in one game, and he has been, blanking in most other games, which is not cool. So, but yeah, that is it. Tottenham, I'm not sure. So, how about you?
No, I don't see anybody in Tottenham. I would go the defense route, but right now, I mean, Son is the only one that I like. I don't like owning King. I don't know why, but he's just expensive for me, and Haaland is the one doing the job. So we'll see how it goes. What else? Let's look at the matches. We
The
already have the
fixtures.
matches.
Okay, the fixtures is here.
Fixtures for 18 and 19, and see which one stands out for us and which one you should be targeting.
Yeah, 18.
Yes.
18 definitely. I think the two standouts. Leicester, they were
sorry, not
abysmal.
17, 18, 19, yeah.
18, yeah. I think I will start with Leicester. They were abysmal against Newcastle. I was very disappointed because I was so excited to watch that game, because Leicester were at home. Newcastle are coming with a lot of form. So I was expecting a very good competition, but there was no competition in that game. Yeah, so Liverpool, Leicester, with Leicester struggling with the defensive players they have, I think it could be an interesting game for Liverpool. But also, of course, Manchester City, Everton, my foes, my near rivals, but they have been very, very poor. Defensively, they used to do well. They don't concede a lot of goals, but it's Manchester City at the end of the day, and it's Haaland in front of them. So it could be a it could be bloodbath for them in that game. So I think these are the two fixtures that people are looking at for captaincy. Chelsea is not bad either, because they play Nottingham Forest. But it's away from home. For me, I would rather back the Liverpool Man City, who play at home. Any other fixtures that you will consider very good? I think
I think that was the one that I was looking at. Nottingham Forest, Chelsea. Yeah, because I'm targeting Nottingham Forest now because the defense is so bad. If we can score 3 and miss about 4 chances against them, I think Chelsea can do well against them, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, so the captaincy matrix sticker, I think you have spruced it up now. I think it's now very current. So let's take a look at.
Yeah.
Oh, the 19 fixtures.
Yeah, but also we have not mentioned, game week, Fulham, Southampton, Mitrovic, and stuff like that. I think you always wanted to.
This is the reason also. Thank you. This is the reason I was.
Yeah, because that's why, yeah.
This is the one I'm targeting, because Mitrovic, if I had known he was going to play, I would not have switched him out for Martial. But now I'm thinking of going back, because Southampton, they're bottom of the league, and to be honest, Fulham, they're going to score against anybody, even though they have tough fixtures after the double in 19. I think it's still good to have Mitrovic there. Just if he's having a tough fixture, play him or bench him.
Yeah,
but just keep him. So I'm gonna go back to him and then just forget it.
Yeah, and other fixtures other fixtures that worth mentioning. I think Newcastle Leeds to defensively they are not so strong, and Aston Villa but actually they considered 7 big chances in that game. Aston Villa too, but of course it's Manchester City. At the end of the day, they will create that chances, and Aston Villa as well. They considered 7 big chances. It was against Liverpool too. You can understand why, but they are not the greatest defenses in the league. So these two fixtures too, Tottenham, Kane can have a good game against Aston Villa, and then Newcastle, if Wilson is back, or Almiron again, I don't think anybody will in his right state of mind will bench Almiron like myself I did last week. So yeah, so those two fixtures are also very important to mention. The other fixtures are quite difficult to call. Wolves, Man United. Yeah. I know Wolves are very good defensively. Man United can win, but it's not going to be a high-scoring game. And then the other one, which is Brighton Arsenal, is also going to be a very tight game. Brighton, they are very impressive so far this season. But yeah, let's look at game week 19. What game week 19 have? That's where the double for Fulham and Chelsea.
Yeah, I think Man U Bournemouth should be interesting, because I think we're going to win. But Bournemouth they've done well since they sacked their coach. I think they're defensively.
Yeah.
better. Yeah, they're much better, but I think still feel that they will concede, especially against us. Southampton Nottingham Forest is going to be an interesting one. Two of the lowest what do you call it again? They've considered the most in the league, I think, for now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
going to be an interesting game, but we don't have any of these players in our teams apart from Nico Williams, who I don't even have anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It's going to be interesting to see.
yeah, yeah.
We have some tough fixtures: Chelsea, Man City. I think for the first time, people won't consider Captain Alan for fixture. So
Well,
yeah,
you guys for the Parma captain group. I'm not in that.
we'll take we'll take a
I'm not
break
in
this
that. I'm
time
not in that.
around. So which fixtures in 19 stand out to you?
I think even though the double game is not strong for both Chelsea and Fulham, because they play each other, and Fulham play Chelsea is gonna be difficult for Fulham. It's a derby
Yeah.
game, but of course it's at home, and then their other fixture is Leicester, which is very nice, but it's away from home to Leicester. But we watch Leicester play at home,
Still, yeah, I think
play at
they'll
home
still score.
to what it was it Newcastle, and they were abysmal. So Fulham can also cause a shock. They did well at away to Crystal Palace, despite Crystal Palace having 2 red cards in that game. And Chelsea, they play
Yeah,
Manchester
that was
City.
the thing that we want to mention. We forgot
Yeah,
to mention. They have
yeah.
two red
Chelsea
cards.
play Manchester City. That's difficult. The best defense in the league, the best attack in the league. So, who are you gonna own? The goalkeeper. You're not expecting a clean sheet, and Man City are a difficult team. So yeah, it's not an easy fixture for Chelsea, and they play away to Fulham, and Fulham have been very impressive. So the double game weeks are not impressive, but I think if you are targeting, you have to target the double game week players. That is going to be Chelsea and Fulham. And I think Mitrovic is a very good shout because the form he is in, he's an attacking player, so he don't need a lot of chances. Even Chelsea can keep him quiet for a very long time, and he just need one chance to convert and then convert in the other goal. And you are talking about a big haul for him. So yeah, I think those two fixtures are the teams that I will target. Those two teams. Arsenal play Newcastle
Yeah,
is not good, right? Those are the other impressive
definitely.
teams in the league that people are want to get their players. So it's a difficult one also to call. Liverpool away to
Yeah.
Brentford,
Okay.
not great. Yeah, those are the fixtures. Yeah, anything
For
for you?
19. Yeah. It's difficult to call. I think the ones I just mentioned is the one Manu Bournemouth, and I think
Yeah, Manu Bournemouth is
yeah,
good.
and the double game mix. Even though it's difficult double, but at least have players that play in those doubles so that you can. If whatever happens, anything can happen. So if you have players, at least you are in the best position to to get a haul or to get results from those games.
Definitely.
So that's why Mitrovic is coming in for me, and I'll try and get a Chelsea player like maybe Havertz, who's leading the line.
Yeah,
You never know.
not bad.
Um, Moving on to the ticker before we have our teams. I think the
Yeah,
ticker has been updated for 18.
yeah,
I think it's for 18 to 23.
yeah,
So for game week 18, we have Haaland, second Kane, third Salah, fourth Bowen, fifth Sterling, and sixth Wilson. Even though Wilson is a bit out right now with I think he's sick. But yeah, I think Palmer captain for me, Haaland. You don't need to get away from him right now. He's doing the business. Kane is a good shout, and Salah, like you said, the top three, good
yeah,
shouts.
yeah.
Um,
After watching Leicester, yeah, Salah is a shout, and yeah, Haaland against Everton, they are abysmal. Everton are abysmal. And Kane against Villa, yeah, I think this one is quite is quite gonna be Haaland. Yeah, I will captain Haaland this week, and yeah, I don't see Salah outscoring him. Maybe.
so 19, we have Sterling, Mitrovic, Bruno, Salah again, Vardy, and Adams.
There's no
Yeah,
Haaland here.
this is like a double game week territory. So that's why Sterling I think is number one because he has a better fixture because it's Fulham, Chelsea,
Man City
and then
Fulham,
Mitrovic
yeah.
is second.
Yeah,
I don't.
I would say Mitrovic is better for me, but because of how Stalin is kind of the premium bracket player, that's why
Yeah.
the ticker will tell me put Stalin there because he's more expensive and stuff like that. But I would say if I had both of them, I would rather captain Mitrovic than Stalin in this one because Stalin have not shown anything to he got an assist last week, but he hasn't shown much for me to captain him in FPL. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Mitrovic might be the one that I would be thinking of. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How about you?
Okay. Finally, we go to our teams. I don't think there's much changes to our teams for 18. Yeah. How does the team look like, Chama, for 18?
Yeah, my team is
3-5-2.
I'm not yet set, but 3-5-2 is looking like how I'm gonna go. I have Ederson in goal, Cancelo, Trippier, and Trent in defense, and in the middle I have Martinelli, Rashford, Salah, Almiron, and Andreas. I start Andreas, and then up top Haaland and Martial up top. So I've not made any transfers yet, but I'm thinking I can take a hit, I can take a hit or I might do nothing. If I were to take the
Yeah.
hit, it's gonna be I'm gonna get rid of Ederson. Even though he has very good fixture in Everton at home, I would expect Man City to keep a clean sheet. I'm not selling him because I don't expect that, but he's not he's not an exciting one for me. That is one thing. But the main reason is because if I want to get Mitrovic in my team, I have to downgrade somewhere. And I don't want to sell James now, not because I don't know he's gonna come back, but because I want to have a better option in defense. Like I want to see, like I don't have any defender I will want. Any defender I sign this week, I'm gonna bench him because Cancelo play at home, good fixture. Trippier and Trent. I'm gonna start these three players unless I change my formation. So I need to downgrade somewhere. And Kepa has proven that he's going to be a very good goalkeeper this year. He has shown that, not proven, but he has shown the glimpses that he's going to be the number one at Chelsea. And also, he's going to be a very good goalkeeper to own his chip. So I made a mistake not getting him. So I want to rectify that mistake as soon as possible. That's why I want to do that. Yeah.
That's a good. I think five midfielders is a good. Since they're doing well, I think it's good to go with as many midfielders as possible, top midfielders. So yeah.
How about you?
My team, I'm going to make a transfer because James is out, so Dortmund comes in. I think I'm going to make a transfer. Marshall is going to be out because it's better to have Mitrovic now
Uh-huh.
than wait until the difficult fixtures start coming in. So I'm going to have him for 18 and then leave him in there. If I have to bench him for the difficult fixtures, then that's fine. But Marshall is leaving, and then afterwards I'll see if Darwin Nunes can also leave for 19, and then I bring in Havertz. So that's my thinking right now. But nothing changes. I have Kepa in goal, Cancelo, Trippier, Botman. I have De Bruyne, Almiron, Rashford, Martinelli, and then Marshall, captain, Haaland, and then Darwin Nunes. Yeah,
Mm.
not much
So
there. It's
Andreas,
just
you're gonna be Andreas against Southampton with all the how can I say? With all you said about Southampton's defense, you're gonna look at Andreas and put him on your bench because he is 4.5 million. Oh,
it's possible I might, but if what's the point? What's the point if I bring in Mitrovic and he doesn't play? I prefer to have Mitrovic than to have Andreas. So if I have Mitrovic, it's going to come in for Marshall. And who else? Who else leaves? I think Darwin is going to do well against Leicester. So yeah,
mm.
I'll
But
leave him
yeah,
there just in case
I,
somebody drops out.
despite
He'll
like
come in as a
you have two
replacement.
players there, I know they are in form. They are flying in this week. Like Martinelli scored a goal, great goal for Arsenal. Rashford scored, assisted.
So who's gonna
Yeah,
who's gonna
but
leave for
their
him?
fixtures are not good. Their fixtures are not like as good as Andreas. So for me, I don't know. But like I will start Andreas this week. Even if I bring Mitrovic, I will start both of them. And then it depends on who I
I think
bench.
that's a
Maybe
good.
it's gonna be
That's a
somebody I
good.
bench and he score points. But yeah, fixtures are so important to me. But yeah,
Mm,
yeah, of course, it's not bad
I think
starting these
you're
two
right.
players. Yeah.
I'll take a look at it and see. Yeah. So we've come to the end of the pod, guys. Cham, any last words before we close?
Yeah, guys. It's good to be back. It's good to be back on the pod
Yeah.
after a after a long break, enjoying the World Cup, and taking like taking some break of FPL and this podcasting thing. But yeah, we are as excited as we were to be back. So if you are new around, guys, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you stick with us during our hiatus, we are very grateful for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are here to stay, and we hopefully we will continue. We will continue to try to get better. And yeah, thank you guys for listening, Bruce.
Yeah.
Still
Thanks,
rusty.
listeners, for always supporting the pod. It's good recording the pod after such a long break, but we are back, and hopefully we continue, recording, and you guys continue supporting us as always. We really appreciate your support. Um, Thanks, guys, and then good luck in the next 2 game weeks.
Yep.
Catch you guys on the next one.